YouTube, it's Brian Phillips. Look what we've got here today. This thing is a 1/10 scale Mashigan from ROC Hobby. It is super duper detailed, squishy tires all around, opening, topper does come off, steering wheel. We had to put on our own decals for the instrument cluster. Mirrors on all of the 3 mirrors are actual mirrors, which is super cool. And on the bottom, of course, 4-wheel drive, big brushed motor. This one you do have to provide your own battery for. So we're using 3S 2200 Smart Pack, which goes into the provided XT60 just fine. But this thing is heavy, and this is probably closer to a Smasher than a crawler. So let's see how things go. It's something new for us. So this is something new for us, and obviously it's gonna go a little quicker. I'm going about slow, about 10% throttle here. As you can see, very good steering authority, very good reverse authority. Love that it smashes around and moves like this, which is super cool. Lots of power. We couldn't do that with any of the other ones we've done so far, and I've already managed to crash it immediately. So let's set this back up on its feet. And as you can see, my battery did come loose, so that's probably not a great thing, and something you might want to consider as you make your decisions on how you want to do this. All I can say though is I'm excited for it, so here goes nothing. We're gonna go into our normal area. Definitely a little bit harder to drive on a slow fashion than the crawlers, but we're gonna go down into the crawler area. This thing should be amazing in this terrain. It's been kind of wet the last few weeks. Camera crew is gonna move, so the shadow's not part of that. Okay, sweet. And we're gonna go down into this area and see how we do. Now this thing is heavy, it's probably about 25 pounds, and so it's way better in terms of actually getting around, in my opinion. And so I'm super, super excited to do some driving in the same zone. It looks like somebody forgot to latch their door, named me. I might actually just drive right out and we'll go ahead and fix that. I don't wanna tip it over, but guys, look at this. I don't even have to worry about it. It's just gonna come right out. No problem at all. And we're gonna get this door latched. Gotta love it. Super easy driving. There is a snap on either door, but I did crash this poor thing. And so we're gonna go ahead and do a little bit faster driving and just show you that it can handle some stuff. Now it's me driving, so I'm not a great driver. It's been a long time since I actually had a faster car. And so I wanna just do a little bit more crawling before I get too crazy. As you can see, the thing goes up and down the hills, no problem. And it's very fun. Very cool to watch those squishy tires operating. And I mean, I can even go straight across here, guys. Look at this. High centering is not gonna be a big issue for us, at least not in this environment. And it definitely looks absolutely fantastic. The paint job has got that metallic sheen to it. And just love how easy it is to get where you wanna go because it's got power. I'm about 10% throttle max so far. Here's full throttle. Just to give you an idea, the thing has juice. And the 4-wheel drive function is very good. As you can see, 4-wheel burnouts forward and backward there, digging a hole for myself. Oh no, the hand of God has to come back in. So we're gonna do that and come right back. Okay, so as you can see, with that extra power, you do have to actually try to avoid not driving the thing over. But I just love the fact that you can tear up the ground and then look at the tracks. It's so cool. Gotta love it. Now it's a little juicy here, so we'll see how it does trying to dig out of this mess. Oh yeah! All the way through the tall stuff. That is incredible, folks. Uh-oh, uh-oh, the hand of God. Hand of God is being called. We got stuck in the super tall grass. By the way, guys, that grass is probably 1.5 feet tall, and it is very thick and weedy, and that's the sort of thing that we would normally burn. There's a tree I'm gonna drive over. I just drove over a tree, it's amazing. Oh no, everybody died. Guys, we haven't crashed this much in a long time. Oh wait, we did crash that one plane just the other day. That was kind of a big one. Oh no, that's nasty. Okay, we're just gonna throw this down and we're gonna actually put our battery back in. So one suggestion I would say, you might need a little better battery retention than what I did, which was nothing. And then also, this thing is doing great in the mud. Unfortunately, I've been getting in the mud too. Gotta love this thing. Look at that thing. It gets out of there without even thinking about having a problem. I don't want to go so fast that I flip it over and crash it and make a huge mess. But I mean, look at our topper. There's mud on the top of our topper. That's amazing. So guys, this thing has got to be the most fun we've had with a radio controlled car yet.
It looks great.
I do like crawling. You guys already know that I have a preference for that. But the thing is, I think this one is just finally that capability balance is there. You can actually do some of the really cool stuff you want to do. And not only that, but it looks really, really, really good doing it. And so obviously here we want to get some tracks in our mud, which is going to be super cool. I don't want to tip. I don't want to tip, and I feel like I'm going to tip it. Now I'm going to have to go this way then. Oh yeah, that's muddy there, camera crew.
Yeah, it is. Oh,
that's getting really muddy. Look at that. Amazing. So usually what we do is when we're done doing these videos, we immediately take these things inside and we let the kids play with them. I think this one's probably gonna be like going through the dishwasher first. Oh man, the wheels are so big they don't even fit the wheel wells. Let's burn it out, yeah! So much fun, guys.
Actually, I would say one thing we do use when they get super muddy, when the boys are driving them or when Brian's driving them, we have like a boot tray that sits in our mudroom, and they can bring and park their cars on the boot tray, and then they don't
that
get
was a tight
dirt all over my house.
Tight exit there.
It looks so good.
I love the way it looks. I mean, it's got to be like by far the most fun we've had with one of these radio controlled cars.
The bigger scale just
it does
makes
more.
a big difference.
It really does. And the thing is, it's not just that it's got more power, but it's got more capability to get out of the mess. I mean, look at this, guys. I don't want to get crashed here, but I'm gonna go really slow here. Now, I don't think I could even make that. I could jump off, but I really want to try to do some of these maneuvers that are like crawler style, but then I don't have to actually feel like it's gonna break and crash every time I do something, which is really cool. Uh-oh, there it goes. Hand of God is gonna have to work again. Thank you, camera crew. Yeah. You might want to watch out though. I'm going to back up because I'm in a hole. So obviously the steering is very powerful. So I feel like the steering is definitely good. I feel like you've got enough authority and you can definitely get out of a tight spot, and you've got enough power to actually articulate that steering. Because if you get into something heavy mud or whatnot, you may actually have problems with some of those lighter duty ones we've done in the past. Let's see if we can bridge this gap here. Oh yeah, that is so much fun, guys. Look at that. That is an incredible passage. I can't even do that with my zero turn, guys. So also, I gotta say, this thing has got so much more torque and so much more power than anything we've used so far in recent history. I mean, of course, I had some cars when I was a kid, but in recent history, this thing has gotta be by far the most powerful. Let's see if I can get out of this crazy vertical wall. Oh, that is crazy. I can't believe it made it out. Oh no. Oh yes. Oh no. Oh no. I was gonna totally try to fly out of it. Just turn it right where it is. There you go.
Okay.
Okay. So, oh no. So guys, gotta say, this thing is amazing. I'm having so much fun with it, and I think you will too. So definitely check it out in the links in the video description below. I think what you're gonna find is that if you get this thing, the one thing you gotta watch out for is that it's not a full ready to run. So you're gonna have to provide your own battery. I wouldn't even bother with 2S. I think 3S is amazing. It's gonna give you that juice that you want. These smart batteries are kind of expensive, but the thing is they've been really good to work with. I'm obviously running a flight pack. So if you were to get a hard pack, you might get a little bit more life out of yours if you're gonna be predominantly running it in cars or trucks, because obviously these cars and trucks beat the crap out of the batteries physically, but they're actually a little bit easier on the battery than any EDF jet that you've ever flown. So definitely take that into consideration when you're looking at batteries.
Do you want to run it up to the yard and just run it fast through the grass and see how it handles?
I do. I was just going to say, if it handles here, obviously it's going to do fine. Yeah. It's going to do totally fine.
Just speed-wise, kind of.
Yeah, definitely. I almost feel like we should go up by the creek and see how it does up there. So that's what I think I'm going to do next. So as you can see, it gets out, no problem. And then up on pavement, you can see it's throwing mud everywhere. Come on, man, don't make a muddy mess in my driveway.
Somebody has to clean that.
Anybody who knows me knows I want my driveway clean because we fly off of it. And so I like trying to get the mud off of the tires out here in the grass. But I just love it. It's actually pretty drivable, even with the steering dual rates all the way down. So I basically have no dual rates. You can do that trick super easy. Go backward and then go forward. You'll get the wheels up in the air. And then if you go forward and then you go backward, you'll get the wheels up in the air. Not very realistic for most normal Jeeps, I don't think. But let's go ahead and take this down. Let's see what we can do here. Oh yeah, that looks so sweet actually. All this rough patches that make me upset about the grass not being good.
That's why they're there.
It's pretty cool for this. Oh, let's go into the barbed wire. So we've done a lot of, oh, let's go over the barbed wire. You think I can make it?
I don't know. You got high centered before, but that was.
Oh yeah, that is so cool.
All
right, let's see. Let's go through the snow if we can. Yes. Oh yes. All right, we're coming back down. So we're going on nature walk with our ROC Hobbies Mashigan. This is like super fun, folks. I gotta say, our kids love driving around and this is hay, and hay is tall grass essentially. It's been cut late. Well, it's only been cut once a season, but we didn't get very much growth because it was so dry. But this is definitely not, you would not be able to drive virtually any other car we have through this stuff. And it's getting through without even thinking about it. So let's continue down here. Let's go up by the National Forest simulation. Actually, I wonder if I can drive through this. No, can't drive through that. That is gonna be one of the limits. As you can see, our driver has been drinking a little bit too much today. And so he's kind of having trouble staying out of the ditch.
Oh, that National Forest?
Yeah, this National Forest. So the nature walk with Brian Phillips RC coming around. Uh-oh. That is so cool. Guys, I gotta say, it's really fun. And then braking, there isn't really braking. It's just full on reverse. So if you wanna stop, it's like this or that. So let's go all the way across the bridge, camera crew. I'm gonna come out ahead of you.
Okay.
Oh, this is just really fun, guys. I gotta say, I'm having a really, really good time with this thing. It's more exciting than some we've done in the past, and I gotta say, just driving around this property is so much fun. Obviously going across the bridge. Let's see if we can go on the side. You want to give them a shot from down below? See, oh yeah, you can get up there, no problem. It's a little bit too wide for that. That's a 2x8, I believe. I wonder if I could go down and then cross, like, you know.
Well, you're the one that gets to get it if it goes down there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why? I can't believe how capable this thing is. That is just incredible.
You make it all the way.
That's what I'm trying to do right now.
All the way under the bridge is what I thought you were going to do.
Oh, I could go under the bridge too. Those rocks, guys, that's crazy. I can't believe it just made it there. That is nutty. Okay, let's see if I can make it out. By the way, this is a long ways up here. This is probably 4 or 5 feet. So let's see if I can get a little speed. My doors are opening now. Ooh, I don't want to tip it over though. Oh, yeah. Oh no, the hand of God's been called again. Okay, here we go. Going down here. Yeah, I could drive it under. You want to see it drive under? Let's try that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna close my door. There's mud all over this thing. It's so dirty. Okay. Now this, if you guys don't realize this is all rocks here. So it's actually, I'm getting high centered on a few of them.
All rocks that we put in there.
Yep, that's right. And then we'll just go under the bridge. You wanna come to the other side? Okay. You can watch it escape. Oh, that is so cool. I gotta say, this is so much fun. You think I can get out there?
Nope.
No?
If you go about 3 more feet in front of me.
Oh, ran into, oh no! Yes! Yes! Okay, I'm gonna drive back over here and I'm gonna see if I can get this thing out, camera crew. Now, challenge accepted me.
Not on that side.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Okay, well here, I'll just cheat. Cheating is allowed on this.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna just throw this up here. As you can see, it's really
You want me to
sturdy.
close your door while you're stopped?
Yeah, close the door if you don't mind.
You're getting a little bit of like grass in there, honey?
Yeah, just a little bit. You want to give them some low shots from down here? It's all dry. You should do that. This is super cool. And then maybe what I'll do is I'll drive down the hill and then drive over to you, Cam Crew. How about that? We'll do a little bit around here.
Hold on. Okay, there you go.
I just love the way those squishy tires work. This thing is super capable. I can't believe how good it's doing, to be honest.
Yeah.
Do you think I could drive down that hill? That's a little steep. I don't think I can actually make that.
You could crash down that hill.
Yeah, crashing down that hill is definitely on the docket. So remember, this is how I got down. Oh no,
man.
Hand of God's gonna have to come into play again.
Am I just setting you up?
Yeah, set me up. Okay.
Whoop, hold on.
There you go. Let's see if I can drive down the creek. Why don't you go up on the side of the shore there, and we'll see if we can get through these. Oh man, that's thick stuff right there. Let's see if I can break through.
You go
Smash it, yeah!
Go up to the right.
I'm smashing it, smashing it. That is crazy. Okay, there we go, guys. All right, we're continuing down the creek.
Following you? I'll follow you as far as I can.
How about this?
It's dry.
It's dry? Are you good? I don't know if I want to smash through all that though, do you?
Well, I don't know if you can.
How about we turn around? I already smashed through this path.
Can't smash through me.
I can drive over them.
There we go.
That, guys, this is incredible. I feel like I'm driving a tank right now.
It's hard to like walk down here. So that thing is doing amazing.
I know, it's almost unbelievable how good it's doing, actually. Let's see if I can get out.
It's like our longest nature walk in a while.
It is actually, that's true. Get over that one bump and you got it, buddy. Hold on, hold on. Yes, yes, yes. Oh yeah, amazing. Do you need help getting up, camera crew?
Am I coming out or are you done with low shots?
Yeah, let's just keep driving because it's so much fun.
Okay.
I think well, I'm hearing something in there.
I think you got a stick in there, or like 4 or 5.
Oh yeah, there might be that. Okay, so guys, I think this is the perfect opportunity to call it quits, but this car is something else. This is by ROC Hobby. It's the Mashigan, and it is absolutely amazing. I'm running on 3S 2200, and this thing is doing everything I want and more. I'm super impressed with how well it's done.
It's so dirty.
And also, look, I mean, like, this is legit dirty. Like, I don't even know if I'm gonna let that go back in my house. And then, look, unfortunately, I'm now dirty. So I guess that just happens when you're out in the country, stuff like that happens. But this car is amazing. I cannot wait to get at it again. As you can see, I have immediately crashed it. And this thing definitely keeps up with all the stuff you want to do with it. It's definitely not going to be doing ramps because I would say that it's probably somewhere between Smasher and scale performance. But I would say it's going to be obviously a little bit past scale performance because you generally can't do that with a Jeep. I mean, you could just about drive up a tree. But I'm really enjoying this thing. So guys, if you want to help support our channel, best thing you can do is just buy some of these sweet, sweet cars, trucks, SUVs, quads, VTOLs, helicopters, fixed wing aircraft, leaf blowers, all that stuff. Let's see if I can make it through here. Oh, that is sweet. Oh yeah, even through the bush. Between the logs and through the bush. I just like don't want to stop.
I can tell.
Do you want to try?
I'm a little...
You're intimidated, but...
I'm a little intimidated.
Really? Are you really intimidated?
Well,
I just crashed into that thing and it was no
know.
big deal. Guys, gotta say.
Okay.
Okay, camera crew's trying it. All right, camera crew's going.
Yes, you know. Okay.
All right, it's camera crew time.
Gracious.
So just remember, one thing about this car is that it's way faster.
It is. Oh, see?
Oh, yeah, maybe don't continue driving into the trees.
I'm a good driver in real life.
Yeah.
That is sarcastic, yeah.
It wasn't sarcastic. I want to see if I get it. Oh, you keep driving away from me.
I don't know where I'm going.
That's
I'm
okay.
just going.
So what do you think about the power?
It's really fast.
Yeah, but can you go slow? Try it.
Well, yeah. Yeah, you can actually go really slow.
And that's why I like it, is because you have that finite control, but it's also super capable. And so when you want to do something cool, like here, drive over by the forest. Let's go to the National Forest Simulated. Oh yeah, that's so cool.
Like, what are you talking about?
This is the National Forest Simulated. It's our one evergreen. We got snow, we've got trees and reeds, and obviously we have the amazing car, which in this case is just super fun.
Okay, I just want to go fast.
Okay, go fast. Maybe don't turn if you want to go fast.
My brain doesn't go this fast. That's the problem.
Oh no. The hand of God will have to flip it over again.
See, that's the first time you flipped it over in like 2 seconds.
Well, I did crash it many times. That is true. There was that.
All right, should we go up? I'll let you, if we switch back, you can close it out.
All right, guys. So in closing, this thing is awesome.
Yes,
I can't wait to drive it even more. And so definitely check it out from ROC Hobby. It's the Mashigan. Don't forget you have to provide your own battery. So do that. We'll link to it in the video description below. It does come with a transmitter. You have to provide 4 AA's. And if you want to stay tuned and see our unboxed build, radio setup, it's coming right after this. So stay tuned, guys. Don't forget to smash the like button. Come back for more. This is Brian Phillips, RC. And obviously the camera crew, my wonderful wife, Megan, who helps me film and does lots and lots and lots of things behind the scenes to help make this channel a reality. So thanks. And stay tuned, guys. So much more from Brian Phillips, RC. YouTube, Brian Phillips. We're gonna unbox this thing right here, right now. Super exciting. Surface Wednesdays coming to you on a different day, maybe today. And so we hope that you guys are gonna enjoy this. We've been a little bit behind on Surface Wednesdays because the weather has been not on our side.
No.
So forgive us.
Not at all.
Hope you guys are having a great Thanksgiving and holiday season. If you're watching this at some other time of year, we hope that season was good. What is this? It's a ROC Hobby what is this thing called? 1/10?
Mashigan?
Mashigan? I don't know.
Sure.
Looks like a Jeep
cool
to me.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that's probably not trademarked or whatever.
No.
But I'm super excited for this one because 1/10 scale's big.
Yeah.
So we like the bigger cars. Are really cool. There is a manual in here, so I'm trying to be careful I don't drop it. Okay, so the manual from ROC Hobbies, usually good from ROC Hobbies and other FMS brands. I don't know what all we're gonna need in the manual, but it looks super nice, a super heavy box.
Yeah.
1/10 scale, Mashigan. That's kind of interesting. And as you can see, beautiful artwork on the box. And we're gonna show you inside the box right now. So stay tuned here on Brian Phillips RC. We bring you guys the latest and greatest in RC as fast as we can. Sometimes we don't keep up because there's so much that's coming out. And this is one of those times where I feel like we're just a little bit behind, but this thing looks amazing. So super excited to be bringing you this. Check the links in the video description below. There's like a button in there.
Oh.
That's weird.
And always check brianphillipsrc.com. If we have coupon codes available,
yes,
that's where they'll be. And I try to keep up with them as quickly as I can.
Okay.
Nice
so
case.
this one comes with a large cooler, which is nice. Big heavy duty handle. As you can see, it goes flat so you can stack things nicely. And then if you have other cars and trucks, then they can nest and set on top of each other, which is the way we store these. Clip in, clip out, which is pretty cool for all three. Very nice. Oh yeah, that is amazing. Cool. Gotta love the way that they package these things. Oh yeah, spare tire, look at that. This thing is squishy too, amazing. Let's pop this thing out. The Unbox, we try to go from the boring to the most exciting, but we should get the battery going first.
Yeah, we should.
Okay, so we have an extra screw and washer, and then we have instruments. Give that a squish, camera crew. Oh yeah, that looks really good. Feels like it's got a foam insert in there for a little extra rigidity and strength. Cool. Okay, and then right here we've got, what is that? An extra chair? Why is there an extra chair?
An extra chair?
Oh no, it's the chair.
Oh.
Whoa, that is sweet. Look at that.
Holy cow.
It's like vinyl.
It's like super detailed.
Feels
cool.
real. Super squishy and cool. And then the other chair. So there is some assembly required, and I'm just realizing that now. So it looks like we've got the other chair, and we have 2 screw points and the total of 4 screws in this bag. So I'll just set these bags aside as we get through them. And I want to pull this out carefully. I don't know for sure if I can lift by that, but it does. There's a roll cage inside, so that should make for a pretty easy lift.
You got some foam back here. That might be what you're kind of binding on.
No, it's actually. No? Oh no! Can you not put the spare on? Yeah, you could put the spare on. Why did they not have that installed? That's very strange. I'm kind of caught up on the front, actually. I just want to be super careful because this thing is beautiful. I don't want to damage it. I'm caught on the sides here. These side things, these side blocks are making it really hard to get out. You see these right here? They're glued in, I think. But I'm having trouble getting it out of the box.
Can you just push down hard?
I think it just rips out. Oh, yeah, you just got to pull it with a little bit of force. Wow. I don't want to force it out and damage something. Okay, so real quick, let's talk about what happened there, because if you guys get this beauty, oh man, that looks so sweet. Love the way that that squishes. And then obviously the big actual mirrors, very neat. I don't know if the door handles work or if you just pull them. These things were glued, okay? Oh, it's actually double-sided tape is what it is. So you can choose to leave that or not. Protective foam on the end. There is a mirror on both sides, which is nice. Okay, so we'll just pull those out for you. Sweet, look at this. The paint job's really cool. It's got that metallic sheen to it. This is actually taped in right now, but it looks like, I don't know why the tape is there. Is that a protective film on there?
I don't know.
I can't imagine that you're supposed to, oh yeah, that can't be a permanent fixture. Nice. Windshield wiper blades are actually way nicer than we've seen on some of the 112 and 1/18 scales. So we'll pull this mirror. The mirrors are really easy to knock out of the way. On the driver's side, it's really, really free, and on the passenger side, they're kind of slack. And then I'm not sure how this works on the hood. Okay, so it just goes up. Okay, so we get a little bit of a snap. We've got lights that should be functional. A Michigan license plate, that's pretty cool. And then we have an XT60 connector, big brushed motor, big servo for the steering, definitely have functional lights here, and there is a hood stand. That is so cool. That is awesome, loving it. Okay, so where does the battery actually go on this thing? There's a power switch here that's got a water resistant cover on it. Looks like the battery would go right here. So I'm assuming 2200 4S, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep going with our unbox part and then show you guys the rest of the features that we can see. Now, I'm not sure how hard it is to take this top off if you want to take the top off. It looks like the doors just snap opened. Okay, so that's pretty easy. And then you can put the chairs in there if you want. And got a high-low shifter, 4-wheel drive shifter, and then a 5-speed. And then we've got the stuff on the tree. I'm assuming that steering wheel probably does turn for us when we give some steering input. Let's flip this upside down. We're gonna lay it down real gentle. Beautiful suspension, goodness gracious, that is absolutely gorgeous. These are spring loaded, but I don't think they're shocks. They might be struts, I can't tell. But the rear end, got a big differential up on the front. This is just absolutely gorgeous. There's the 4-wheel transfer case. Looks like there's some sort of a clutch mechanism on the outlet there. Looks totally sweet. Steering is really heavy duty, and there is a piece of foam down here. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab that and push that out. You wanna make sure to grab that out of there because it looks like that would not be a good place to have it because that motor is probably gonna get warm, and you can see what's trapped in the motor there. So very good anti-sway bars all over the place. Feels like they're steel. Might be, no, they're steel. I don't think they're carbon fiber. That'd be unusual. They'd want them to be heavy. Okay, so we're gonna flip this over. Obviously, we've got lots of spring on there, which is great. These are actual functional D-rings, which is super cool. You see this?
Oh, cool.
But it's not a spin out, it's a clip. So you have to push this and then you can pull that pin and you can use that to hold little features on there, which is super cool. And then of course the spare tire goes here, but this is an opening door, okay?
It's taped over here.
Yep, and so it looks like, I've got to just check this. I think these are just shipping tape because I want to see this thing open. So let's see if that gets off there. I've been disappointed with how some of these little sticker decals come off because you see it's left residue and I don't like that. But I know a lot of people are gonna not want to open the doors. So you may decide you wanna leave those, but I wish they would have used a matte finish on these because it would have looked a lot nicer up against the matte finish. Not a deal breaker for us by any means, but we like to point out those details that we notice. Okay, so the back seat's made out of that same sweet real fabric. And then this is also taped shut. I think I'm gonna leave that taped because I don't wanna deal with that opening while we're driving, especially in an off-road situation, which is what we usually do. Okay, so continuing around to the back, we've got this spare tire. It's gonna go here. It is keyed with a hex. So that's how it actually goes onto your axle. I might just grab a seat myself while I do this, but I am a little bit concerned on exactly how you get the top off because I'm not sure how that is done. And then the instrument clusters do not have the actual instruments installed. So if you want to help me figure this out, I don't see any clip points. Does it just go straight out or does it clip?
I don't know. We might have to look in
the manual is going to for sure. Oh yeah, there's a clip there. So let's go ahead and check the manual real quick because I do want to put the seats in. The seats are really cool looking. So I don't want to do without that. We got 4 screws for the seats. Then we have the instrument cluster here, okay? And then we have a singular screw and washer that's going to help us to keep the spare tire on. I'm not sure why that wasn't installed. It is a functional spare. Okay, so then of course we haven't even gotten the remote out. And it looks like, okay. So how do you, okay, so they suggest the battery. Like I was thinking, it goes that way. Oh, it doesn't say anything about that?
At the end of the English? Yep.
What the heck? That's very unusual.
Wait, does it come off? Does the top come off? Is it possible it doesn't?
You know what? You might be right. Maybe it doesn't come off. But then how do you get the chairs in there? Oh,
open the
you
doors?
open the doors. So you open the doors and then the chair goes in here like this.
Do you want to put those decals in first? Is that going to be in the way of your hand?
I'm not sure. I don't know if I want to put the decals on first or not. But I think there's got, I think this thing comes off. I'm pretty sure it comes off.
I think they screw them from the bottom.
Okay, so we're gonna take a second, we'll figure it out and come right back. Okay, so we just found there are screws to take off this lid here. And so I'm actually kind of thinking about maybe popping that off so it'll be easier to put all this stuff in. So I'm gonna flip my whole truck over and there's screws that are on those corners. And if you look down there with me, you can see they're actually a hex drive, probably 2 millimeters.
Oh, those little ones down there?
Yeah, right here.
Okay.
Oh, excuse me, that's not 2 millimeters. It's probably a 1.5, maybe a 1.5. Let's check. So just be aware. Yep, that's a 1.5. And this thing is very heavy on the front end because there's so much stuff going on up there. And also we started a 3S 2200. You can run this on 2 or 3S. And my suggestion is, as with anything else, if it supports 3S, start with 3S unless you're giving it to a kid, and then start with 2S. And it's gonna be an appreciable difference in power and performance. So I would suggest always going with the higher performance on a car because you're not gonna really gain much by going with a smaller one. Sometimes on airplanes you save a lot of weight, and so you might get similar performance from 2 or 3S, but generally you're still gonna get a lot more power because you have higher voltage.
There's some other specs. I'm just going to show them this in the manual. In case you have or run different car batteries, these are the specs for like the motor limit and then the battery sizes if you're using something that's not
let's show them what I'm doing too. As I loosen this screw, I'm pulling down. And then over here, as I loosen the screw, I'm also pulling down.
Oh, I see. Yep.
So if you guys haven't seen how to do that, so far that's going pretty smooth. There it comes down. And then I don't want to lose those screws if I'd like to put this top back on. Okay, so as that comes off, you can see that that topper is definitely going to be removable. And so I want to just tip this. I think what's going to happen is there's probably a couple more clips, but I'm just going to have the camera crew help me watch for the screws if they fall down, which they will.
Okay.
Be cool if they didn't, but pretty sure they will. Yeah, they're right there. And I don't know if they have a retainer clip on there or what.
That would be
but
nice.
then also I would like to, there's a couple of different clip points, but I feel like there's a screw and I haven't found where it is yet. No, those are just clips. It looks like just clips on the front. So I'm not sure how to break it free, but I don't want to damage it. And so as you can see, when you lift this, there is definitely a mount that's attaching these to each other. And I don't know how to release it. So if you guys look with me here, this is actually attached. And it looks like that might be a screw point there and there, because you can see that little divot. And I think the way you get at it is you might open the door and then there's a screw that's right there. That's a Phillips though. So as per typical Chinese decision making, we're gonna use a Phillips, and for the rest we're gonna use, so I have a really long screwdriver here. Let's just see if this works. I bet you this is what's holding it. Oh, that is a really, really small screw too. Folks, that is a hard one to get turning. I'm gonna try a China screwdriver next. I'm just having trouble getting the angle. There we go, that's a lot better. So just trying to walk that back, and as you walk that back, we should be able to immediately tell, but I am not sure if that's working or not. Because you can see this little tab here, that structure keeps it lined up, and it might also include this screw as well. And so if I undo that, does that make it feel like it's loosening?
I'm not seeing any gapping yet or anything.
Yeah, I don't either. So I think that just holds on the mirror potentially. But I do want to take this off because I think it's going to be of great assistance in our endeavors here. I'm just surprised they don't show an, that was definitely it. Okay, so you can see there's a screw there and then one more screw over here. And so one of the things we try to do here on Brian Phillips RC is when we run into these weird circumstances, we like to show this in all its true colors so that you can make a decision if you think that that's, you know, going to diminish the value of the item. Okay, I'm gonna let this down carefully. This is a heavy vehicle. Okay, so as you can see, the topper does come off. That's pretty sweet. The windows do come out if you'd like. And I kind of like the idea of having it opened because I think that looks cool. And it does feel like the roll cage is pretty sturdy still. Now this also comes off if you want to just leave this back roll cage on. You can do that as well. So I'm not sure. I think what we're gonna do is we'll assemble it. We'll show it as it was sent out in a stock form, but also look at the pedals. The pedals are amazing. This should make it way easier to put the instrument clusters on.
Yeah.
So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use an X-Acto knife for this before we get the seats in as the camera crew suggested. We have RPMs and miles per hour. I think the RPMs are gonna go on the left and the miles per hour are gonna go on the right. That's just a guess, guys. I don't know how it's actually supposed to go. Boy, that is gonna be really hard to get in there. I am not sure how I'm gonna do that. This is miles per hour. Why did they not put these on?
Because it's really hard to do.
I guess.
You're gonna need something else to, oh, you got it, stick.
Just to get it to slide over there. Yeah, I don't really quite understand why that stuff's not applied. And to be honest with you, it's almost like I got it down too low. And so I'm not a fan of having to do this, by the way. This is pretty frustrating actually, because I want the Chinese hands to do it because they would be able to do this a lot better. And also you got to remember, you know, these things are not, they're not like an overly difficult thing. But for me, I don't want to do it. Some people want to do this stuff because they're going to do a better job of it than maybe the factory personnel. They might put a little more TLC into it, but you can see that doesn't quite
fit.
seat. And it might just be, oh, you know what? I bet that backer comes out. I don't know how though. Okay, so that's not releasing. I just don't like the way that instrument cluster turned out because my, I'm gonna try to slide this under here and see if I can peel that up with my X-Acto knife. Nah, it's just really difficult to get in there because all the stuff going on around it. You got any ideas, camera crew, on how I might?
No, I was just thinking that would have been impossible with the topper on.
Oh yeah, there's like no way you would get it. And the thing is, I'm being super careful. It's actually a really high quality sticker.
Just not sure you're gonna get it off.
Oh, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. I'm just gonna get that lifted, and then I'm gonna stick another tool under there so I can reposition my sharp tool. Okay guys, so I'm just remanipulating where this thing needs to go. And so I'm having a really hard time getting that thing to align the way I think it should go. So I'm just gonna re-stick that to the tip. And then I'm just gonna go up a little bit higher on my instrument cluster opening. And I think I got better positioning that time. But you know, I bet what it is. No, those are about the same size openings. I thought maybe I was just hitting the wrong side. But as you can see, it just doesn't quite make the fit. And that's pretty disappointing. But otherwise, I mean, it's an overall like really nice model so far. You are blocking the light just a little bit. There you go. So that's a bummer, guys, I gotta say. And then these other ones, let's just see if they fit. I don't even know how they would go. If you guys have a Jeep, leave it in the comments below. You can say, you know, what direction they go. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they did give us 5. So let's see how terrible the first one goes, and then, you know, we'll just throw caution to the wind. If it goes in there, great. If it doesn't go in there, great. Then I'm just gonna not worry about it. I suppose you could do some research, probably get onto like Jeep's website and see what the instrument cluster is supposed to look like. Of course, I don't do any off-roading myself, but some of you guys watching this might actually own one of these. Oh, that thing is just really a Bearcat. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm trying to do. There we go. There, I got it in that time. I think there's probably a way to actually peel that whole thing out, and I just don't know what it is. Make it a lot easier to put those in. But as you can see, once you get it in there, you know, it's in there. It's not especially easy though.
Right.
Because you're really reaching a long ways down there. So we might pause because the other 4 are gonna go exactly the same, I assume. Yep. And then we'll come right back, show you the next step. Okay, so we got all of them in there, and the camera crew is gonna go behind me so we can get that natural light in there. As you can see, it's just, each of these was tricky, but if you push hard enough, there's like the backer goes back and you can drop that lip that might roll if you don't get it perfectly centered and then push it down. And that's what I did on the instrument cluster. So the backer pushes back and then that tape that was like curled slipped back behind it. So it looks a lot nicer that way.
Nice.
It's cool, it's definitely worth doing. I just don't like the fact that I have to do it. Okay, so now let's talk about this too. These could come off if you knew you were gonna be doing this. I kind of tend to like the roll cage being on there, but I don't know if I like the topper because I think it obstructs so much of the cool stuff in here. Trouble is there's not really anything to receive these screws, and these screws will 100% be necessary to keep this from wanting to tip forward. Now, if you took off the screws, you can actually fold forward your windscreen. So that would be another cool feature, but at the same time, I want the open cavity without actually having those popping through like that. So I'm not sure how we're gonna handle that, so I'm gonna just flip this thing over for now, get a couple of screws going, and those screws are going to allow us to hold the seats in place. Again, this is gonna be kind of tricky because look at this. Now I've got to hold that somehow in place while I hold the screws. So I'm thinking I'll put it sideways. Sorry, I hit my mic, folks. Try to lay this kind of on its side, and then we've got a bag here. Yep. Yeah, I don't think there's any way to do this otherwise. And then I do want the spare tire on there. I mean, that spare tire looks sweet.
I agree.
Okay, so there's 4 screws.
Okay.
Okay, I got these ones are not Phillips, so we're back to probably a 1.5 millimeter, I assume. Yep, 1.5. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the easier hole first, which is the top in this case. And I am going to hold my chair in position, just like this. I'm just gonna work this in. Now, of course, if the chairs are out, it does make it easier if you're gonna be putting a figurine into this, which would be a 1/10 scale, then you can do that, and then you can put the chair in. So it'll make it a lot easier for you to get your figurines mounted and then put your zip ties or whatever it is you're gonna use to hold them in place. Now it's gonna be hard to get to this screw, and so I'm actually a little bit tempted not even to put a second screw in there, but I just think we're gonna get in trouble if we don't. So let's tighten this here. See if we can get that chair to sit down a little bit further. I feel like I didn't quite bottom it out. I assume when I bottom it out, it's going to be like a pretty obvious thing. Kind of hard to tell though. Can't tell if it's just spinning. Well, I guess we're going to find out in a minute when it pops out. Now, how can I get this out of the way? I do not want to take that thing off. I don't want to have to reinvent the wheel.
Where is the hole?
The hole's right behind this member.
Oh, okay, I see it now.
So again, why would you put this on? Why wouldn't they just mount this first? That is so awkward. Because now we have this whole assembly that would have to technically come off in order to do this properly. So FMS, what are you thinking on this? You see where I'm talking about, guys? Like, what the heck? Okay, I'm gonna just try to put it in an angle. I mean, that's not ideal by any stretch, but maybe we'll get lucky and it'll bite the threads on the chair. I kind of doubt it. It's probably just gonna push out the chair. Yeah, see, we're not even meshing up with the gears, or excuse me, not the gears, but the threads on the back side of the chair here. It does seem to be holding it, sort of.
With just the one?
With just, well, no, I might actually have it started. That's a miracle. It's kind of biting into plastic, so I think that's how we're getting lucky going at an angle like that. If that was metal on metal like a Nutzert, there's no way you would get away with it. But you see what I'm talking about? It's just, you can't get those gears to mesh. I'm gonna have to, my next step would be, if you really wanna do it right, would be to take a number 2 millimeter probably, break this free, or break this off, which I have a ball link tool. I wonder if I can pull that ball link tool off. That is a lot of work to put a chair in. What were they thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that's a huge miss, but whatever. For now, we'll just forgive that because I don't want to mess with it. Although the ball link tool might help us pop that off. If it does, we'll just pop it off. Okay. This is a ball link tool, guys. We use this on the airplanes all the time. And it might, but if it doesn't, it won't. So we'll know in a few seconds here. So I might be able to pry that off. Oh yeah, I think it's gonna go. I think that's probably, nope, it won't go because there's nowhere for it to go. And then if I take off this side, then I might be able to walk it out.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I know. I mean, this shouldn't be like a real car where you have to actually take time to, nope, that's not coming off. Okay, guys. So then the next option would be to get at that, you're gonna have to come up with some sort of a ball end tool so that you can come in here at an angle and then hit that square. See, because this particular tool needs to bite in too much. And what I need is the type that would allow me to put it on an edge like this. And I don't know if you can tell, but I can definitely tell I'm hitting the plastic on the backside of the chair.
Sounded like it.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll come back to that because that's gonna be a pain. We might pause, get a resolution, and then tell you how we did it. Okay, so RTL Fasteners plug here. Buy your kits from rtlfasteners.com. There's links in our website that will give you some coupon codes and things like that. But for now, just follow our links and I think it's automatically gives you the discounts now. So this happens to be a kit and it happens to be kit number 743. And it's a metric kit and I believe this one has a ball end tip like that. So that's 2 millimeters. I don't know if that's right. I thought I had a 1.5.
I thought you had 1.5.
Nope, that's a 1.5, isn't it? So let's see if we have a 1.5 here. I believe we do. Yep, 1.5 millimeters, as you can see. So that one comes in the metric kit, and there's actually 2 of these boxes. The camera crew only grabbed half of it.
Oh.
So just to be clear, if you check on the website, they'll tell you what you're getting. And we like to support RTL Fasteners, these small family-run American companies once in a while. See how that will allow me to go at about, I would say, something like maybe a 25 or 30 degree angle. That might get us in this spot. And yeah, I didn't expect to be plugging RTL fasteners for this, but I'm assuming that's going to end up working for us now. I can't tell if it's just not gonna bite still or if I need to back off the pressure a little bit. I am pretty annoyed that you can't get in there without disassembling the whole bottom of this transfer case and everything. So I'm gonna try on the other side. That one's not wanting to go. We can just move that out of the way a little bit. Okay, so this one here, I've got that set in place. Oh yeah, way easier from the center. Oop, that's what I want. Get in there. Yes, yes. See how it's going straight now, guys? That's what I was after. But see now, I should be able to get this started and then I might be able to course through. See, it's just, it won't align. So I wonder if I move this, nope, there's no movement that's gonna get you in that angle. So at least the passenger side seat's gonna be nice and secure. And I had hoped that this RTL fasteners kit would get me in there, but it's not even getting me in there at that angle. So I'll just keep fighting this and come back, let you know if I come up with a solution. Okay, so now the next move is, because I can't quite get those secured and it's really ticking me off, I'm gonna see if I can take this linkage out. Okay, and if I can't, then I can't, but at least now I know and I can show you what to do. This is 2 millimeters, okay? Now what I need to do is I need to lift this linkage up. Yeah, so that goes up. And that just allows us to free it just ever so slightly so I can get that down. And there you have it, guys. And I still need to be at an angle. As you can see, I am not square with this tool. Goodness gracious, that was a lot of work for getting that in there. Guys, ROC Hobby, what are you thinking? Don't do that again, that was dumb. You gotta make those parts accessible. So the good news is it goes in. The bad news is it's kind of a lot of work if you ask me. It should not have been that much work. Especially if you get some kid that doesn't have every single tool.
Right, yeah.
So I feel a little bit bad about that. However, that being said, it is a car. It is a fun process for a lot of you guys to kind of work through these little issues. For me, it just drives me nuts because I work through these issues in my real job. So I want to work through.
You just want to drive it?
Yes, exactly. I want to get out and drive these beauties. Okay, cool. So now I'm just going to back off the other side and show you that it can be done. Definitely need a 2 millimeter to undo these though, because once you undo these, then you'll be able to slide that linkage out. Enough. I mean, you're not actually taking it all the way out because look, you're still trapped. But you can get it out enough to where you can get a screwdriver to line up straight from above, which is nice. Okay, cool. So we'll pause and come back when this is tightened. Don't forget to put this shaft back in after you have realigned your suspension here. So I just want to show you that if you don't wiggle it too much, it should drop right back in there. But if you move it a bunch, you'll have to re-manipulate the ball joint so that it lines up. And then you see like that, it went too far down. So then get it aligned. Don't forget to put that back in. That would be a mess when you're driving. Okay, so now we've installed the chairs, we've installed the instrument clusters, and get that tight, but not so tight that you don't have free movement. All right, now we got to put on our spare tire. Mine comes fully installed all the time. All right, so this goes right here. Spin it until it keys in. And then we have a bag with a washer and a singular black screw. I did, full disclosure, strip one of those screws, screwing around with that. Yeah. Which is annoying, but at the same time, I got it to bite enough to where it's keyed in the hole and it's not gonna pop out easily. So if my driver dies, you'll know what happened. Oh. Okay. He's invisible, so should be no problem. The invisible driver. Yes. Okay, guys, so, and if you're into building these things, don't hear me wrong. I know some of you guys really enjoy that process, but I remember back as a kid when I had my RC10, or excuse me, I had an RC10, my brother had an RC10T. And so there's a truck, what? That washer is like the worst possible fit. Look at that. It just barely catches the pan head. See this? Yeah. Like what the heck were they thinking on that? They need to talk to RTL fasteners. Yeah. Which by the way, RTL fasteners, I don't know why I keep bringing this up, guys. I promise I wasn't even planning on bringing them up today. They just have really nice stuff. They're not cheap, and you'll find that out when you buy stuff, but sometimes cheap is not what you want.
They have saved us.
A lot of planes have been saved. And it's usually like the one that's in a really nasty timeline and we're up against the wire to get a video done. And the window is closing and there's some massive problem otherwise.
Or we're working on something and it's like midnight and you're not gonna like go get something.
Yep, exactly. That's why it's
or
been
order
so nice.
Something.
So rtlfasteners.com.
Yep.
You can use our coupon code. There's also links to follow, and that'll get us credit if you guys buy. So you'll be supporting Brian Phillips RC, which is pretty cool. Same thing with this awesome truck, which by the way, even though I'm annoyed with having to take that topper off, the thing is really cool. So I'm super excited about it. And then obviously the opening doors and all this, just really sweet. I love that they have real mirrors on there. They're gonna reflect light, which is super cool. I do not know if this turns or not yet. Very disappointed about the screws up here. Not sure how to manage that. I think one way you could manage that if you wanted to leave this all intact is you could take this bar off. But otherwise, I'm not sure if you could put, you know, some sort of a nut on top of there or what you would do. Maybe a blob of hot glue just to hold it. I know it sounds kind of lame, but that is something you could do. You could also cut some plastic and screw the plastic in there. And then that would just act as a retaining clip. But honestly, at that point, I would say you'd probably want to flip it upside down so it's less ugly.
But in the way they get driven at our house, I want that extra little bit of strength to hold up the windscreen.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because the windscreen is always one of the first things. However, since we've got it so that we can show this right now, why don't we go ahead and show this real quick. Let's show what the windscreen looks like down. I just dropped that into the floorboard. That is pretty cool, actually. I wouldn't drive it like that, but it is cool still that you can do that.
Yeah.
And I dropped a screw in here. I just love that it's got the clutch pedal and everything. That's really neat to me. And obviously these things are getting so much more detailed than what they were just a few short years ago. And you know, like 4-wheel drive, differentials front and back. I mean, these things are no joke. They are intense and really cool. So if you haven't bought any of these ROC Hobbies or FMS radio controlled cars, you might want to seriously consider getting one, even if it's been something you haven't, it's not maybe your primary RC experience. And for me, that's exactly it. It's not our primary experience. We do a lot of fixed wing stuff. We just did the SU, which by the way, the SU-27, if you guys follow us closely, you'll know that we crashed that because we had a bad linkage. And we have repaired it and actually have flown it. And we have a video that's going to be publishing at some point here pretty quick. So we got a re-maiden in and did just fine. In fact, it was probably a lot better than our maiden flight, although I didn't think the maiden was too bad until we crashed it.
You were definitely less nervous on that second flight because...
Less to lose.
Yeah.
Once it's already crashed and uglified and weighs at least 0.5 mucilage bottle more. Okay, so you can see here now we've got these screws, 2 clips, and then 1, 2, and then 2 clips. So 1, 2, 3, 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4 clips. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to get this back down. I am gonna put it back on just because I think it's cool. It's cool looking with, and then that'll help demonstrate what it looks like stock. So line up your screw holes last, line up the clip points first, okay? Am I in that clip point? See that clip point there? That's what I was talking about, right behind the door. That does look pretty cool, I gotta say. Yeah. So I'm okay with it. I just kind of think it would make better sense if we had the flexibility to pick, don't you?
A little bit easier.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Do the seats move? I feel like they bounce around a lot, which is kind of cool, actually. I don't know if that'd be cool if you had a figurine in there, though. I feel like that might make the figurine want to pop out. See that?
Yeah.
Kind of like a rubbery response. So guys, normally our Unbox build radio setup on the cars are really short. And I think today, oh boy, that lined up really poorly. That's why it's not going in there. There we go. So normally these are real short videos, so we apologize if this one's dragging on a little bit, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna obviously get this thing built. We're gonna get outside and test it in our track that we've set up for rock crawlers up front. And since it's cold, you'll get to see how it looks. Obviously the power lines recently got taken down, which was a huge expense for our family. And obviously a big investment for our RC channel here on Brian Phillips RC. So if you wanna help support us, we really appreciate you doing that by buying these amazing toys, whatever they are, whether it's a toy or a hobby grade aircraft, however you want to you know, call that in your book. I think most of what we do ends up being mostly hobby grade because they're more expensive. But then every once in a while we do toys and different entry level stuff too. And that's one of the things we like to do on Brian Phillips RC as I finish these last 2 screws, is basically helping you get into the hobby. If you're just returning to the hobby, there's a lot to learn, and we're here to help you as we go through some of these processes ourselves, some of which we have replicated many times, so you can go back and look at older videos and see how we learned to do what we're doing because we filmed it. And so if you're curious what we do, generally we unbox build radio setup here, and then basically we share the maiden flight or the first run or that sort of thing. And that's gonna help you guys to get a good idea as to whether or not you think an item, which make no mistake, some of these items are gonna set you back hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. And so if you're willing to spend that kind of cash without doing a little bit of research, then you are not like me, because I wanna know if that thing's gonna be a turd or a lemon, or if we have a high chance of getting a lemon, because as you know, everything online can be made to look amazing. And that's not what we do here on Brian Phillips RC. We don't rubber stamp everything that we work with our companies on. We try to give you guys a honest review that's gonna help you make a good decision on what you like. And also that does mean that occasionally we don't get to work with companies because they don't like us to be truthful. FMS has been fantastic to work with. They're always more than willing and actually encouraging us to be really truthful about our experiences because they want you guys to have a good experience too, and they're reputable in that way, which is pretty cool. So that being said, when you see something go wrong, they've never asked us to cover for them, which is really cool, and we appreciate that. Okay, so I've got 1 screw that fell. Camera crew, did you happen to see that?
I did not. We might have to pause and look for it because it's usually a challenge.
This one is tight. I don't know if it might have bumped into the tire too. Hold on. Ooh, boy, that's gonna be hard to see. Okay, we'll pause, come right back. Okay, so slightly embarrassing. It's still in there, and I thought what I was seeing was a small standoff where I was supposed to insert the screw. No, it was
just the screw.
So my apologies, and that is a 1.5 millimeter hex drive. So if you don't have a millimeter hex drive set, then definitely be thinking about getting one because we use them all the time for the airplanes and obviously for the cars. And keep in mind that even if you might be used to having some standard screwdrivers and things around for different aircraft stuff, generally what we run into is going to be metric by and large, right?
Yeah.
Every once in a blue moon, we'll have something that's standard.
Be a good like stocking stuffer idea.
It would be a good stocking stuffer idea.
I mean, not for you, but for anyone else.
No, because I have everything.
Yes.
By the way, in case you guys were wondering, when it comes to gift time, what does Brian Phillips RC get?
Nothing.
And what does Megan get? And that's always a tough question. Well, this year, Megan got for her birthday, because she's getting pretty old these days, she got a deep freeze and some flowers.
I'm super excited about both of them.
The flowers were like dead immediately. I don't know. I suck at.
You might have to redo on the flowers.
We're gonna redo the flowers.
There used to be another deep freeze.
But the deep freeze, yeah. So the deep freeze, when you have 6 people in your family, you need multiple deep freezes and multiple fridges.
There's a lot of food consumed in this house.
Yes, there's a lot of food eating around here. Okay, that is awesome. So cool. And what do you get for Brian Phillips RC for his Christmas gifts?
Nothing.
That's right.
That you can say.
That's the way we do it, because it's like Christmas every day.
Yes.
Okay, so at the bottom of the box, we have the transmitter, which is nicely packed, so you can repack it. I love the fact that it fits in there. You could also potentially fit batteries and things like this. I also noticed that this is like a bulkhead that can be taken off, so it helps
this
support.
little thing comes off too. Comes
Oh,
out.
it does?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I think I'm gonna leave this foam in this particular spot because that's a nice protection. Okay, so this is the type of lid that whoops, that broke off.
Hate when that happens.
Hate it when that happens,
Always.
yeah. So anyway, we do not like the lids. The lids get in the way, they drive us nuts, and they have never once done a good thing for us, so we just immediately break them off on every single car we have because they just drive me nuts. Okay, that thing is phenomenal looking. Obviously, we got to put some batteries in, so we're going to do that. There's tape on this.
That's
Why
weird.
are they taping
Must have
everything?
had extra stickers to use up.
Like, get out there and use more stickers, or they're going to lower our sticker budget for next year.
Well, they used a lot on this one.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, we've never had one of those taped. But is that a bigger transmitter than the...
The little thingy came
1/12?
off easier.
It did. It ripped off nicely.
Yeah, okay, so there's a channel 4, channel 3, up, down, and center. There's an on, off, steering dual rates, throttle trim, steering trim, throttle reverse, bind, steering reverse, and then these are the lights that blind you. Nothing special on the controls here. This feels like hard plastic. There's no rubber there or foam. Sometimes we get a little tire in there, which is pretty cool. Okay, so double A's, we're gonna go flat to the spring, flat to the spring, whoops, flat to the spring, okay. Flat to the spring, flat to the spring, flat to the tip, flat to the tip, and then we're gonna just push this in carefully because it was wanting to pop out the batteries. All right, cool. So that's all she wrote. We'll turn this on. That's on and ready to rock and roll. Let's go check our charger and talk about chargers for 2 seconds. So if you guys are getting this and expecting it to be a ready to run, it is not a ready to run. This would be like a, it comes with everything you need except for the battery. So you do have to provide your own battery, which we didn't realize that when we got it. So not a huge deal. Oh, and by the way, these metric kits that we were talking about earlier, the metric kit comes with all this stuff from RTL Fasteners. So you can see we've got those in these little organizers. Yes, it did come with the organizers though. But we had to do all the cutting of the labels. So that was kind of a pain, but that was standard.
A bunch of little bags.
And then we have another one over here that's got a bunch of other stuff. Yep. So we'll just come back to that another time. But for now, you can see we are using the Smart S2200. People have asked, what do we like to use? That's it. But if you're on a budget and you're not gonna be using anything over 4S, then this S155, it is an amazing choice. Gives you all the smart features, which is really nice. You can do Gen 1, Gen 2, or you can do large or small. You can also do firmware updates, which is really nice with the provided USB-C cable. And then of course we have the balance plug, which is really nice. But if you guys are serious about flying and you're serious about driving, so definitely consider the S2200. That's 200 watts, 2 channels. And basically what you can do is you can charge all your batteries. You can also set up the smart settings and it makes it really nice. So in this case, we have an XT60 connector and you're like, but Brian, that's got an IC3 connector, which has this extra data lead. But if you didn't already know this, you can use a battery like a 2200 3S and you can plug that into your XT60 lead. Okay, so watch this. So an IC3 or an EC3. EC3 would be blue, it stands for E-Flight connector. Okay, so this here. Okay, so that's in there. Now that power switch must be off, which is good. So I'm gonna just drop this down in here. I don't see any retention for that. So I'm just gonna literally slide it in and hope that it retains well. It's kind of got a little bit of pressure on it, but this is an old 3S. It's got a little bit of puffage to it. I'm gonna press the on switch, drop that down. As you can see, we've got some lights going. Camera crew and I are going to literally move stuff as we speak and get this out of the way, do a quick drive inside and come right back. Okay, so we've got steering, we've got throttle. Ooh, that's a pretty fast one.
Wow.
Okay, so that's only about a quarter throttle, but I don't want to go too fast. Oh yeah. Oh, the steering wheel does turn. Show them the steering wheel. So cool. Guys love that feature, but just be aware when you do this next thing I'm going to teach you right now, it may not work all the way. And so I'm just going to tell you this. There is a dual rate for steering. So turn the steering wheel. I want it as high as possible. That is so cool. Okay, so now you can really get in there and go sharp. Now let's talk about channel 3. No change. Channel 4. That's probably going to manipulate our lighting. So I'm just going to show you as I press, nothing changes. So then there's also, what else do we do for this? I'm surprised that doesn't change. There's no change there. There's no change there. Let's see if there's brake lights on the back. So as you can see, it is definitely 4-wheel drive too, as you can see, which is cool. Brake lights don't do anything. And I'm surprised that we only have the front-facing lights and no controllability. Good. Whoa, boy, that thing is, and this would be what we would call a smasher as opposed to a crawler. And so there's not really like a slow speed per se, but as you can see, the discrete controls are very good on the provided ready to run, less battery controller. So as you can see, this thing definitely works really nicely. You can really get in there and get some precise, finite control, which I love that the steering wheel is big enough to be able to see. Kind of wish it was something other than black because it might be a little easier to see in there. Obviously, these mirrors are gonna knock out of the way nicely, which is great, keep them in good shape. And then obviously the thing is heavy. This thing probably weighs 25 pounds, I'm guessing, if not more. I mean, it is very heavy. And I love the fact that as you drop it, it's got some mass to it, which is super fun. Should make it a good crawler too, even though this is technically a smasher. So guys, if you wanna help support Brian Phillips RC, buy these and other cool products that we review from the links in the video description below. And we appreciate you guys being part of our little RC family here on YouTube. And obviously, if you haven't, we're on Instagram too, and Facebook and all these different things. But really, they're all directing you back here. So if you're already here, this is where we want you. And then BrianPhillipsRC.com will give you some extra coupon codes and things like that that we can't always keep up on the videos. So check the links in the video description below, or jump over to Brian Phillips RC and then see if there's something that might be relevant for what you're looking for. Or maybe you don't like this particular car, you like something else we reviewed in the past. You can find it there because we have so many videos that you might want to go through and actually figure out what you need. And also a special thanks to our Patreons as we get around to Thanksgiving. We want to say a special thanks to you guys because you have helped to keep this channel running, which is super nice. But at the end of the day, we still think that if you want to become a new Patreon, we've got links down there. PayPal if you like one-time donations, and then of course buying the cars, airplanes, quads, helicopters, and so on and so forth is always the best way to support us, because really at the end of the day, we're trying to build relationships with these companies so that we can continue to bring you more and new and better content here on Brian Phillips RC. So also special thanks to the camera crew, and we just really appreciate you. You do such a good job. And so thanks for being part of this. We hope you guys enjoyed our video today, and we hope you'll come back for more. If you haven't, click the bell for notifications, or subscribe. If you're not subscribed, obviously do that, and then we'll be around. Stay tuned. There's always more coming from Brian Phillips RC. Thanks for watching.